Hello, second grade friends, and welcome to Number Corner. For Number Corner today, we will be working with our computational fluency. Remember, someone who has computational fluency is someone who can work very quickly and easily with numbers. Today, we are going to be working with some tens frames to look at our add 10 and add 9 facts. Here's the 10 frames we will be using. What do you notice? Now you may have noticed a few things. The first thing you may have noticed is that we see two 10 strips. We know we have two 10 strips because each one has 10 squares. You may also have noticed that there's kind of a darker line in the middle of each strip. You can see there's a group of 5, then our dark line, then another group of 5. Same with the one on the bottom. How many squares do we have total with our 10 strips? Now you may be saying 20. You can count 20 by counting these groups of 5. 5, 10, 15, 20. You may have also known that if we have two tens strips, 10 plus 10 is 20. Now let's take a look at how we'll be using these. We will be using these to practice our add 9 and add 10 facts. Let's have a look at an example of an add 10 fact. Our example here is 10 plus 4. Now we're going to build these equations using some blue dots to represent our tens and some red dots to represent our other add-end. Remember, the add-ins are the two numbers added together to create the sum. Let's have a look at how we can build 10 plus 4. Now I've built 10 plus 4 to show that I have 10 blue dots on the top. My whole strip is filled, and that's my first add-end. I've built my 4 with my red dots on the bottom to show my second add-end. 10 plus 4 equals 14. Show connection if that's what you were thinking too. Our 10 strip just show us how many dots we have altogether. It shows our thinking. Let's have a look at another one. Let's build this one. We're going to build 7 plus 10. When we have all of our blue and red dots together in our 10 strip, we see 7 red dots to show our first add-end, and 10 blue dots to show our second add-end, to show that 7 plus 10 equals 17. Now you may have been thinking, these facts are pretty easy. Why do you think these facts are easier to solve than others? Why are these equations easier to solve? Well, you may be thinking a few things. You may be thinking, well, I know if I just have 1 10 and I add 4 ones, well, I just change the number in the ones place. My 1 stays the same to show how many 10s I have, and my other add-end is my 1s. That's some good thinking. Are there any other ways you're solving these so quickly? Let's have a look at the rest of these equations. I think we can solve them without the 10 strips. We're going to go kind of fast. We're going to be speedy. 10 plus 4 equals what? Do you know? 14. Show a connection if you knew it was 14. Show that computational fluency, that quick thinking with numbers. 7 plus 10 equals... Show a connection if you said 17. Next one, 10 plus 6 equals, oh, think use that computational fluency. Show a connection if you were thinking 16. 3 more, 3 plus 10, what is it? 13, show that connection if that's what you were thinking. 9 plus 10 is 19, show that connection if that's what you were thinking. Last one, 2 plus 10 equals 12. Show that connection if you were thinking 12. What are you noticing as you look at all of these equations? You might be making that connection that our 1 is always staying the same. If we're looking at our equations, that 1 in that tens place, it moves right down to show how many tens we have. And that second addend, our 1s, goes right into the 1s place. The 4 moves down, the 7 moves down, the 6 moves down, all the way through. These are wonderful things to notice to help with our fluency. Now, those were a lot of add 10 facts we just looked at. Let's swap over to some add 9 facts. How can we use what we know about add 10 facts to help us with add 9 facts? That's what we're exploring. Now, I've filled in my 2 10 strips here. I'm showing you my 9 blue dots for my first addend of 9 and my 4 red dots for my second addend of 4. What could I do to change this to an add 10 fact? What do you think? Now you may have said, I can move this dot over. And now I filled up my top strip. If I fill up my top strip, well, that's a whole 10. So now my fact is really 10 plus 3 equals 13. My addends are different, but I have the same answer. Let's look at another one, and then you'll have some practice on your own. If I have 7 plus 9, how can I change this to an add 10 fact to help me solve it very quickly? I can take my red dot and move it to fill up my 10 strip. Show a connection if that's what you were thinking. Then my equation looks like this. 6 plus 10 equals 16. Now we use some strategies of what we know about 10s facts to solve our 9 facts. Now we're going to take the same strategy we just practiced, and you're going to practice it in Seesaw. Let's have a look at what that is going to be like. Now when you go to Seesaw, you'll have an activity that looks like this. It's giving you 4 more add 9 equations. You're going to use the strategy we just learned to fill up your 10 strip to find your answer. You can move all these dots to show me how you can fill up your 10 strip and find your answer to 9 plus 5 equals what? How are you moving things around? Do the same for 8 plus 9, 3 plus 9, and 9 plus 6. How can we use what we know about 10s facts to solve some 9s facts, add 9s facts? You have work to do. Good job so far. Show your teacher what you learned, and I'll see you next time for Number Corner.